Hello there, beautiful creator. Want to grab attention with a clean animated search bar? In this tutorial, I'll walk you through step by step how to build it in CreateStudio. No fluff, just results. Let's get started.
Start by opening a new blank project, then head to the Settings tab and change the canvas background to white. Now select Resolution and double the size for higher quality. Next, let's add the base for our search button. Click the plus icon at the top and choose Square. Then, rename the layer to Button. Now let's style the button. First, set the color to a dark gray using the hex code 747475. Then, scale it down to 25%. Before we move on, let's activate the Action Safe Lines to keep our design aligned as we build. Click the square icon at the top right of your timeline, then enable Action Safe Lines. Next, drag the button over to the right side of your canvas. Now let's create the input field. Click the plus icon and choose Rectangle and rename it to Input. Now set the color to a light gray using the hex code 6As. Then resize the rectangle so its height matches the button and make it wider. Next, make sure the input layer is placed below the button layer in the timeline. This keeps the button visible on top. Then, select both the input and the button, resize and drag them to the center of the canvas. The input looks a little too wide, so I'll just shorten it a bit. Then I'll select both again and scale them up slightly. Once they're aligned, you can disable the Action Safe Lines for now. Now let's add a search icon to our button. Head over to the Media tab, select SVG, and type Search. Choose your preferred icon and click on it. It'll automatically be added to your Media tab. Then, drag it onto your canvas and rename the layer to Icon. Next, change the icon's color to match the input field's light gray using the eyedropper tool and make it just a bit lighter. Then, resize the icon by setting the scale to 13% and place it right on top of the button. Before we move on, here's a quick way to create a rounded style. Select the input shape and drag the circle handle at the corner all the way inside to increase the corner radius to 100%. Do the same with the button shape. Cool. Now let's start with the animation. First, select the button shape in your timeline and move your playhead to the start point. Next, click on Add Animation and choose Position, Scale, Opacity, and set the easing to Expo. Now repeat the exact same steps for the search icon. Next, select the end animation point of your button. Then, hold down the Shift key and click on your icon so both the button and the icon are selected. Finally, move the playhead to the starting point. Now, on the canvas, scale up the button and the icon together to full screen and set their transparency to 10%. Lastly, select only the button shape and click on Expand. Cool, that looks good. Now let's move on and animate the input shape. Now, move the playhead to 0.24 seconds and drag the input layer to this point. This way, it will appear right after the button animation finishes. Next, scale the width of the input field to match the width of your button shape. Then, click Add Animation, choose Scale, and set the easing to Expo. Now select the endpoint of the input field's animation. Next, on the canvas, scale the width back up to its original size. Before scaling, you can re-enable the safe line to guide your alignment. And don't forget to set the anchor point to the right side. Simply click on Anchor Point in the settings and select Right Middle. Now you can scale the width back to its original size. Nice. That looks good. Next, right-click next to the input and select Add Track above. Then head over to the Effect tab, select Components, and drag the typewriter effect onto your timeline. Make sure to place the typewriter layer right after the input animation finishes. I see I've scaled the input width a bit too much. Let me scale it down slightly. Then, I'll disable the safe line. Alright, now click on your typewriter layer, and the settings panel will appear on the left. Next, click Edit, and delete the second text field. Now enter your custom text. In my case, I'll type, "How to create a search animation." Next, you can pick a typing sound from the options, or choose None and import your own sound. I'm going with keyboard too. Next, set the font to Poppins Regular and then move the playhead to the end of the typewriter animation. Now, scale and position the typewriter text on the input field. Don't make it too large. Leave enough space around it for a clean look. I notice the button still has full opacity at the start. Let me select the endpoint of the animation again, move the playhead to the beginning, and set the transparency to 10%. Now repeat the same steps for the icon. Great! That's looking much better now. Now let's add a cursor icon. Move the playhead to the point right after the typewriter animation ends. Next, choose your preferred cursor icon and drag it to that point. Before dragging, don't forget to add a new track above. Next, rename the layer to Cursor and change its color to match your design. Now resize the icon and position it in the top right corner, slightly outside the canvas. Now, make sure the cursor layer is positioned above all other layers. Now, make sure your playhead is positioned right after the typing animation ends. Next, select the cursor layer, click on Add Animation, choose Position, and set the easing to Expo. Now, select the cursor's animation endpoint and position the cursor over the button. Next, move the playhead to just before the cursor touches the button. Then, select your button, click Add Animation, choose Scale, Border, and set the easing to Smooth. Now, select the end point of the animation. Go to the settings. Increase the scale by 3%. Choose a lighter border color and set the border width to 20. Now, move the playhead to the point where the cursor touches the button. Then, speed up the animation by dragging its length to half. Next, drag the animation to the left just enough so the scaling begins exactly when the cursor makes contact. Now, reduce the radius back to the maximum by clicking and dragging the corner dot to make the button fully rounded again. Now, select the start point of the button animation to position the playhead at the correct timing. Then, select only the icon layer, click Add Animation, and choose both Scale and Fill. Next, select the endpoint of the animation. Head over to the settings, scale it up by 3%, and change the color to match the button's border color. And lastly, make sure the animation duration matches the button animation. Now, move the playhead to 4.30 seconds and make sure all layers end at this point. This gives us a 1-second gap that we can use for the transition. I see I forgot something. Now, set the playhead at the beginning. Then, select your button shape, set the border width to 15, and change the border color to match the input field. You can copy the color code from the input field. Then go back to your button settings and paste it into the border color. The input field animation could be a bit smoother. Place the playhead at the start of the animation. Now, let's make it a bit faster and move it 2 steps to the left by holding Shift on your keyboard and pressing the left arrow key twice. Now, select the end point of the animation and drag the start of the typewriter layer to match that point. Then, select the start of your cursor animation and drag the type animation to align with it. Cool, that's looking a bit better now. Alright, time to add some sound effects. We'll use one for the intro, one for the input field, and another for the mouse click. I've grabbed these from Pixabay. You'll find the download links in the description. Cool. Now import the sound effects and rename them to intro, input, and click. Then, drag each one onto the timeline and place them where they fit best to match the animations. All right, well done. We now have the basic structure in place. Now it's time to take things further by adding a background and customizing the overall style. This is where the design really starts to shine and grab attention. I'll start with a clean, modern theme that transitions smoothly into a logo reveal with text. But before we jump into that, let's group everything together and rename it to Search Animation. Finally, save this as a scene so you can easily reuse it anytime you want. Great. Now let's add a background. This is an important step because it helps define the overall theme of your search animation. I'll be using a nature-inspired background. Go to Pixabay and search for colorful nature. Make sure to set the resolution filter to 4K. Now, download the video that fits your color scheme and import it into your project. Then, drag it to the bottom of the timeline. All right, now head over to your Effects tab, drag the blur effect onto your background, and adjust the settings until you're satisfied with the look. Next, ungroup the search animation scene. Then, select your input field, go to the Settings panel, and experiment with different blend mode options to see which one works best with your background. Now let's edit the button's fill color by applying a gradient that matches the background color. Now let's improve the input field by adding a white border and set the border width to 5. Next, select the button animation, place your playhead at the beginning of the layer, and change the border color to white. It looks a bit too white now. Let's change the border color to a light gray and reduce the border width to 8. Cool, that looks much better. Now, Let's group everything together and rename it to Theme 1. Then, save it as a scene. Now to change the theme, just add a new background that fits your color style. Then, adjust your element colors to match, and that's it. I was going to continue with transitions to logo, YouTube channel, and website, but I don't want to overwhelm you. So I'll cover all of that in the next tutorial, fully focused on transitions, keeping things clean and easy to follow. If this was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Wishing you a wonderful and creative day.